Good morning, dear friends. Hope this day is a great day for you all and wish that you're all very happy always. So, today we will be learning about biography. This is a method of one kind of writing method where we use to write the life history or an event about someone else other than yourself. So, autobiography means writing a story about yourself. And biography is the method where we use to write a story or a background about someone else other than ourselves. So, usually we write biographies of people who are very famous. They can be artists or sportsmen or mm, political leaders. It can be social service working people or anyone other than yourself. It can even be about your father, mother, your teacher, or just a poor boy who you found on a lane, or it can be about anyone for that matter. And so today we will be learning what we have to think or what points we have to consider while writing a biography. So I'm here to share you the details about biography. So here we go. How to write a biography. The contents what we will be learning today is what is a life, why we are writing about a life history of a person, and write about anyone. So who are these anyone means, and what do you want to know about that person? What all points we'll have to include in the biography, and question and answers, what kind of questions you will be asking and how the answers will be written in the story, and also organizing the information that you get from the person and how to present it. And we also see the glossary and other informations about the authors. Now, chapter 1 is about what a life. Wow. A good biography can be just as exciting as a made up story. Have you ever read a biography? Biographies help us learn about lives of real people. They can be about famous people such as sports stars, artists, or world leaders. They can also be about regular people. Everyone has a story to tell. You can write a biography about someone you know. So, whenever I ask this question, who do you want to write a biography on? Children always refer to their parents. They say, I want to write about my mom, I want to write about my father. So, I think it is very easy for the little ones to write something about your own parents, or the elder ones to go and explore the people who you like and learn to write something about them and get a lot of information. So, here's what you will need to complete the activities: blank notebook paper, pencil with an eraser, a computer optional. So you'll have to have all these when you start writing a biography, because you'll need to explore on the internet. You need to note down the points about others when you're having an interview, or you're thinking and writing something. So when a person tells his or her own story, it is called autobiography, that we will see in the next video. Now, you will only need a few tools for these activities. Isn't it so nice? Yeah. Write about anyone. You can write a biography about anyone. Whom do you want to write about? The subject of your biography does not have to be famous. He or she does not even have to be an adult. Think about the people in your life. You might want to learn more about a friend, coach, grandparent, neighbor, or person at your school. Pick someone of your interest to you. You may be surprised by what you learn about the people you see every day. Begin by making a list of people you could write about. Write down all your ideas. So, first, what you have to do is collect the names of people who you like to write about. And then you can choose one of them for writing your first biography. Do research to learn more about one of these people who has a story you would like to write. Now, make a list. In this activity, you will make a list of possible subjects for your biography. So, take your pen and paper and start making a list. Make a list of possible subjects for your biography. Subjects here means the people itself, who you're going to write. Choose someone who's interesting to you, because someone who's really interesting to you, you will have a lot of things to write about them. You'll be having a lot of compliments to give them, and also it is easy for you to get their personal interview and so on. So you need to do research to write a good biography. Now, subjects for my biography here, for example, they have given Uncle John, a war hero. Okay, then my neighbor Jack, the drummer in the Scottish band. Then Grandma Sally, great cook. My friend Amber, who live in China. So you can choose your subject as your mother or your father, your neighbor, your grandma or your friend or someone who you like. Suppose you visit a hotel and you like their the way it is set up and the beauty of that hotel. You can find out who has made this hotel, who is the one responsible for keeping all these things very nice, and how cozy the people are who are visiting there and how they are very happy about it. So you can even go in depth and learn about somebody like that. Or you go to a temple and you wanted to know the history behind it and who's the one who started it, or who's the one who's running it, and the details about them also can be collected, for example. Now, what do you know? What do you want to know? Sorry. Once you decide who to write about, you can decide what you want to learn about him or her. That's very true. So now we know that I'm going to choose my neighbor. She's a great artist, and I wanted to write about her. And I know what I'm going to write about her achievements also. If I'm going to write about my grandpa, how he was in his childhood and how he grew up and how what all achievements he has done, and what are the outputs and how happy he is now also. And you will need to do research to learn about your subject. Subject again means a person who you're going to write. Sometimes you can do research from a book or on a computer. For this biography, you will do research to learn about your subject with an interview. So it's not compulsory that you should have an interview, but if the person is available and if you can have an interview, it will be very good because you will get the direct details about them. Yeah. Make a list of what you already know about this person. Don't write down a fact about someone unless you're completely sure it is true. So, here in a biography, you can just not imagine and write whatever you feel like writing, right? So, it has to be true about that person. Then, make a list of what you would like to know. So, whatever you know, you have to write down the points, and what you would like to know, you have to write down those points also. You can make a list of questions from this second list. So make a question out of it. Your first questions should help you find out where and when the person was born. First, you have to know where the person was born. Next, write questions about what it was like when she was growing up. So you can say, how did you feel at your in your young age? Where did you do your studies? Who were your friends in your childhood? What were your hobbies and all that? Then, how Was her life different from yours? Write questions about what she liked to do. What kinds of places did she like to visit? If the person is older, you can move on to questions about her life as an adult. What are the what are her greatest accomplishments? What are the most important things about her life that she wants others to know? What can you find out that will be of special interest to your readers? The purpose of your interview is to find out what makes your subject interesting. Okay, so if you have an interview, these are the few suggested questions. You can make many more questions. Here we are referring her, but it can be anyone. It can be even a him. Now, prepare to interview your subject. Now we are going to get ready to interview our subject. Now, in this activity, like what you have to do, you have to collect all these instructions. Let's see. We are preparing the questions for your interview. Write the title, what I know, at the top of the page. Okay. What you know about the person, the biography. So write the title. Now, below the title, write facts you already know about your subject's life. Suppose you're talking about a soldier or a hero who you know, you can write about the facts you already know. You must have known that he had fought a war and he was the one who was implementing certain things in the army, or how much he has helped your neighborhood, and so on. On the second page, write the title, what I want to know. So here we continue. So first we are going to, let me repeat it, write the title, okay, at the top of the page. Then below the title, write facts you already know about the subject life. Now in the second page, you'll write the title, what I want to know. First you will write what you already know, and then you will write what you want to know about the subject. Now below the title, write what you want to learn from the interview. Now, what do you want to learn from the interview, from the person who you're going to write? Now, on a third sheet of paper, write your ideas for questions to ask your subject. Now, what all questions you will ask after you take the interview? Your notes about what you want to learn can help you think of questions. Now, leave space under each question to write down the person's answers. It is always better to leave enough space so that we can fill. Suppose you don't have space and the person has given a lot of answer, you can always write it in a separate page and keep it as an attachment for your reference. Next, questions and answers. Call or write the person to set up a time for your interview. Make sure you set aside plenty of time to ask your questions. You don't want to rush the interview. It is a good idea to use a recorder during the interview so that you might not have enough time to write it down. And if you record it, maybe you can replay and you can get the real facts, what he has told, without making any story on our own. Okay, that way you can check your information when you are writing. Ask for permission before recording the interview. Yes, that is very, very important because certain people will say that they don't want us to record. Or, okay, I record only this much, and the others I'm just telling you for your information, they might say. So you'll have to ask the person before recording the interview. Now, look at the person while he is talking. You have to always have an eye contact and listen to him with a pleasing personality. Be a good listener. There are people who always like to talk and they don't want to listen. So we have to cultivate this habit of listening to others. After they finish telling what they want to say, then maybe you can ask them the questions. You don't have to interrupt in between and stop their flow of thoughts. Now, follow your list of questions. Other questions may come up during the interview. Yeah, so as they were talking, they're telling something about what you didn't expect them to say. You might have some questions, and you can always note down those questions and keep for them to ask. Now, other questions may come up during the interview. Keep good notes on what was said. Now, interview your subject. In this activity, you will interview the subject of your biography. Just imagine that you're interviewing the subject of your biography. Now, instructions, what you have to do. Turn on the recorder if you are using one. Don't forget to turn it off after the interview. Ask the questions on your list. Give the speaker time to answer each one. Listen carefully. Take notes on what you want to remember about each answer. Your notes do not have to be full sentences. If we understand what we are writing is more than enough because we're going to rewrite it, right? Now, but they should be clear so that you can understand them later. Look at the speaker as you ask your questions. After the interview, thank the person for taking time to talk with you. Now, for example, the questions that are given here: where were you born? Tell me a little about your family. What do you miss about the United States? Maybe that person was in United States. Maybe your person who you're interviewing was in a village in India or born in a city. So you can ask something about what they're missing, about their family, about their birth, how where they were born, and how they grew up, and with whom they grew up, and what all naughtiness they have done in their childhood to attract other people. Maybe positive naughtiness, not the negative things, and how they enjoyed their life in different stages. What made them think, in which part of their life has changed their career thought, or how they have become very famous. What was the reason behind becoming that famous, doing the act of being famous? So all that you can ask when you're questioning. Now, after collecting all the answers, interviewing, you have now a lot of information about the subject. Now, organize your information. So, what is organizing? Right? Put it one after the other and keep it crisp and neat and nice. Remove the unwanted. So, first put it in order. Organizing is always keeping it in order. So, it will be easier to write your biography if you organize your notes before you start. Now, you are ready to write a draft of your biography. So, இப்பதான் நம்ம draft எழுதுறதுக்கே ரெடி ஆயிருக்கோம் இல்லையா? So now we have enough informations. You have done your research. Now, choose which information you want to use from your notes. Not necessary that you have to use everything that you have it on the notes, but you can select which information you have to choose, use, and which one to use at the beginning, which one to use at the end, middle, etc. Now, you do not have to use everything you learned. Think about what adjectives you can use to describe this person and her life. Write what is important or interesting about your subject, the person you're going to write about. What makes her unique? Help the readers see the person as you do. அதாவது நம்ம எப்படி அந்த பயோகிராஃபி எழுதுறவங்கள பத்தி நம்ம பார்க்குறோமோ, எந்த வியூல இருக்கோமோ, அதே மாதிரி we'll have to make the readers view that person the same way. So for that you should have good vocabulary and you should have good adjectives to describe them and to make them feel the same as you think. Now, Biographies are often written in chronicle order. This means you write events in the order they happened. You should also organize the information into categories. Categories are sections with information on the topic, on one topic. Sorry. For example, your first category might be the subject of growing up. Next, you write about events in the person's life. Finally, you write about the person's special accomplishments. There is no strict and fast rule that you have to follow this way. You can have your own method of writing the biography. Your quotations from your interview. When you quote someone, you must write exactly what he or she said. Using quotations will allow your readers to hear your subject's voice. So, this quotation means suppose the person is telling, I was the most, um, what, beautiful person in the class, or I was the most handsome person, or it can be I was an extraordinary dancer. So when you're writing it in the biography, you have to say, ma'am, or she mentioned that I am an extraordinary, from her mouth, that she has confessed that she was an extraordinary dancer, or a person, or anything else maybe. So the quotations will be, we have already learned, I think, where how to put the quotes and quotation marks. Okay, so it's a direct speech that will that's coming directly from the speaker. So you have to chronological order means you can write it as child, other you can write 0 to 10 years what they have done, and 11 to 20 how their life was, and 20 and above what was it, and so on. Or you can write about their certain experiences in different area, then about other experiences. So it can be in a different way also, according to your choice, but mostly whatever it is, there should be an order to for your items. Now create a draft. In this activity you will write a draft of your biography. Now, choose the information you want to use from your research. Write an opening statement to grab the reader's attention. For example, use an interesting quotation from your subject. Okay, so you have to first sentence படிக்கும் போதே மற்றவங்களுக்கு அது நியூ படிக்கணும்னு தோணணும். So you have to make it in such a way that the people will want to read your biography again. Now, put information in chronological order, divide the information into 2 or 3 categories. Each category will form a paragraph in the body of the biography. Write a closing comment that includes a summary of your subject's life. Add any quotation to your report. Be sure to use quote marks. Remember to put quotation marks around the person's exact words. Now, may I present? If you write about your friend, try taking your own photos to include in your biography. After you finish your draft, go over the work. That means read again and try to make the corrections. Make changes until everything is just right. Add a title to your biography. Write your final copy on a blank sheet of paper or type it using a computer. Biographies often contain pictures of the subject, the person who you are writing about. Find photographs or draw illustrations to go with your writing. Now, writing the final copy. In this activity, you will write the final copy of your biography. Instructions. Let's see. Write the final copy of your biography on a blank sheet of paper or type it on a computer. Add photographs or drawings of your subject so your readers can see the person throughout his or her life. Family photo albums are a great place to find pictures for your biography. Now, let's stop. Don't write in the book. Let's see. Final change. Check everything one more time. Now, do I have a title and opening that will grab the reader's attention? Yes. Do I help the reader get to know the biography subject? யாரு அது யாரை பத்தி எழுத போறோம்? Who are we writing? And will the reader come to know who we are writing about? Yes or no? Usually it should be yes, right? Do I use words that explain the chronology of events? Yeah. Will the reader come to know in what order I'm going to explain or write? I'm writing about the subject. Do I include details that help give the reader a clearer picture of the person? Yes or no? Then, is the information organized into categories with headings? Do I have an illustration or photograph of the subject? Illustrations are drawings. Okay. Do I include a quotation from the person? Do I include a summary in my ending? Do I use correct grammar and spelling? Okay, that's your rechecking. Share your biography with your subject and with others. Let others learn about this unique life. Now, here you see it's a Annabelle, adventurous Annabelle. Someone has written about adventurous Annabelle. So they had given an introduction, okay, about Annabelle Roth is an adventurous. Even though she is only 10 years old, she has been to more places than many adults. She has had quite a life. Annabelle was born in Massachusetts, America. Annabelle was the first child, grandchild, and niece in her family. When she was born, everyone wanted to meet her. Okay, so it sounds good, and somebody wants to read about Annabelle, just 10-year-old, and she has visited a lot of places. Maybe something interesting about her in the biography. Now, family and home life. So they have written something about family and her home life. I'm pausing it so that you can read it, or you can pause it and read in your recorded message. Then they have written about her favorite activities, when she grows up, what she wanted to do, maybe Annabelle's further adventures. So, about her further adventures. So, they have added a picture we can see about Annabelle, and it seems that she loves this uh, animal a lot. And glossary we should have where all the details, the meanings of it, and you can also have an index in the pageல என்ன இருக்கு அப்படிங்கிறதுக்கு. So which page contains what content, that is shows, index shows that. Then about the authors. So whatever I have been reading it for you, or explaining it for you about the biography was written by these two people. Yeah, Cecilia Minder and Kate Roth. About them, there is something. So if you are the one who's writing, you will write something about yourself too. Maybe you're writing alone, or you're writing along with your friend about a person. So if two of you are joining to write a biography about someone, then you can have both of your details in that. I hope you have understood a bit about the biography. Let's explore more. Please do start writing a biography about a person who's dear and near to you. Okay, let me see how many of you are willing to write a biography about me. Are you ready? So here we go. We'll say bye for today and get along one another day or very soon. Thank you, sweethearts, for watching me.